Okay, so GTII ended up getting the decline, the bounce from the decline, and the decline that we were looking for, right? Let's go ahead and go over the potentials for the following days. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is Arca coming at you with a GTII technicals, raw price action, and statistical thread of analysis on this Taco Tuesday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called Arca Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys, so we're looking at GTII on the 6-hour chart here. And you can see here that we were actually looking for a touch of about 92 cents. Unfortunately, we ended up getting just about that, close to 88 before a retracement, right? And we were also eyeballing the target of about 81.30 to 81.80. We ended up closing traditional market at about that 81-cent zone, right? So the bottom side, in fact, very curious 80-cent touch, right? So, and there is a very curious also increase in bearish volume, which is very curious since we just got some pretty good news, right? The catalyst about the AI. So Global Tech Industries Group and AI Commerce Holdings LLC execute a preliminary memorandum right here of understanding in connection with the possible acquisition of AI Commerce Group. So this, guys, that's a pretty, I mean, it is pretty big news, right? I understand it's just it's just an initial, right? But it's still something very, very bullish for the asset, right? But still, it's very curious that we actually got a deeper capitulation from it, just to kind of show how sometimes the markets play inverse to good news, right? So let's go ahead and now move on to the next chart here, as I actually do have some, I'm sorry about that. Let me just go ahead and put that. As I do have some targets that I'm going to look at towards the downside, right? But of course, I'm not going to make this easy for the shorts to find. So definitely have to stick around so that you can hear the random area where I'm just going to release them, right? So, all right, you guys. So yeah, this was the target that we were looking for just yesterday, dropping to that 81.80, right? So we ended up closing right at 81. And actually, we used that 81.80, well, 82.21 in this case as a form of resistance before a continuation to the way down, right? So we're increasing volatility with a downside pivot, okay, you guys? So that's it almost feels panicky in a sense, right? So let me move on to the next. We've been keeping up with this, right? So yeah, the momentum on the 3-day has actually veered away absolutely indefinitely from our objective, right? So we were able to call kind of the distance here for the better part of about 10 days, right, before it actually started moving away from our from our directional objective. Right, so let's just go ahead and just note here that, yes, there is still continuation to the downside here. In fact, it kind of accelerated just a little bit, right, kind of invalidating our thesis of the potential slow decline, which actually this, the 6-hour iteration that we got today was just out of nowhere, right? So that's, I mean, it doesn't make any sense, guys. I'm not sure how we can get some good news and then the price capitulates like that. It's just, you know how it goes. But anyway, you guys, so yes, this is the 3-day chart still actually continuing that downside, right? This was the area that we were looking at for a potential support touch, including these candles down here, right, you guys? So now that we're actually looking at these, I mean, we can always look historically, right? So historically speaking, there is a lot of relevance within that support range that we actually just failed, right? So let's go ahead and continue on the analysis even still, right? We looked at the 6-hour, huge rejection from that SMA 10, right, you guys? But I mean, usually, guys, when we actually convert that SMA 10, it does kind of serve as a guide towards the way down. But the higher likelihood here, guys, is just actually landing within that 2.618. Okay, so keep that in mind. And in reference to the monthly, I think it was actually in the monthly that I had this drawn in, right? So I want to show you that if I didn't already kind of cross that out. If I did, it's no problem, right? But it was the ascending triangle of the monthly iteration, and and that monthly iteration has a bottom side of a similar target to that 618 that we were looking for, right? But it's no problem whatsoever, you guys. Please, let's just go ahead and move on to the RSI here, as we can see that we have a short-term upside to look at, right? And this short-term upside, I'm really saying short-term, first of all, not only because it's the 30-minute time frame, but also because we have the SMA 14 represented by the pink line, essentially going to be located right up. I mean, it is located right above us, so that can serve as a point of resistance. Only in rare occasions do we actually get to succeed the SMA 14 when we're in the when we're in the gravitational zone of any of the control zones, right? So in this case, this is the bearish control zone here, and yeah, the moving average would be located within that gravitational zone, but I think that would actually just amplify the resistance level before a continuation, either sideways or slightly downside, right? So the bi-hourly time frame absolutely found resistance from that SMA 14. We were talking about potentially succeeding the upside of this just yesterday to touch that 92-cent area, but as you can see here, the resistance ended up coming just shy of the gravitational zone, so we did not get that gravitational pull from it, right? So now the 6-hour time frame, the 12-hour time frame, and now most importantly the daily time frame are all suggesting a little bit more of an accelerated downside, particular to the daily and the 12-hour. Notice how we are sitting in the gravitational zones of the bear strength percentile, right? So this is very likely for it to kind of get pulled into the oversold territory of the RSI, right, you guys? So now looking at the upper term time frames like the bi-daily and the the 3-day and the 5-day, we actually have some downside pivots in there as well. So I'm actually wondering to see if the bulls are actually waiting to pick up the asset or get long the asset at one of those targets that we were looking for, right, you guys? So please remember, first and foremost, that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Okay, you guys, I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, I wish you well, a very, very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.